Friday's edition of the vlog here. Culotta and the Prince wrapping up this week of coverage. NFL draft off and moving last night. Saints 13 and 31. They go linebacker at 31. They go offensive lineman Andrus Peat at 13. Stephon Taylor?
Anthony
is the 31st pick out of Clemson. Led the Tigers in tackles last year. Pretty good so far.
Yeah, I like what they've done here. We talked about the big needs being wide receiver, a pass rusher, helping the offensive line. But honestly, when you look at how good of a player that Anthony is, and again, good value there. I think it's a good pick. Today they need to add pass rusher. They need to work in bring in some help at wide receiver. But you know what? I think that the approach of they went with the best available guys, and look, I didn't think it was as big of a need at middle linebacker, but when you look at the fact that Curtis Lofton was released, there is a need there. So I like what they've done. Looking forward to seeing what they do at 44 here.
Think they go wide receiver?
I think there's the potential to go wide receiver. It just depends upon if there's value right there.
All right, no LSU Tigers selected in the first round for the second time in Les Miles' 11-year. Updated the La'el Collins situation. Down in Baton Rouge, he's now waiting on the conversation, the interview, whatever it is, at the request of the Baton Rouge Police Department while he's down here. They've now said that will be after the draft. He's moved out, tried to get his name out of the draft, the amateur draft that's happening right now, the annual amateur draft for the NFL, and move into the supplemental draft. Not going to happen just due to the NFLPA and the CBA.
Yeah, the rule is once you get into the draft, dude, you're in the draft, and so it's just a weird situation. We were talking about this a couple of days ago. In all of the, we've covered this team for quite some time. There's been some really weird stuff, the shady stuff, a bunch of different things with Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, there's been some crazy things. There's never a boring day on this beat, is there?
Well, I think this takes the cake.
I think this is number one. You're talking about a guy who came back to school, had an All-American season, and was projected to be a top 15 pick. Wasn't even a first-round pick, and just, it's weird.
Yeah, it's strange. It's strange for sure. Andy Cannizaro and Hunt Palmer stopped by to talk some LSU baseball. Tigers come back, or don't come back. They went to extras last night, win 5-3 over Mississippi State in Game 1 over the Bulldogs. This team's crazy, man. I mean, they just kind of entertaining group for sure, but they keep you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, they do. But the other thing is that it's really hard to beat this team. Like even when you think you have them down, they find a way. Give a lot of credit to Connor Hale for getting the game-winning hit last night, because you look at it earlier in the game, we talked about it with Andy and with Hunt as well. Connor Hale had about one of the worst at-bats of the season this year. Mississippi State's, they got Fitz just throwing sliders. And he's just completely baffled by it. Stays mentally checked in, has a big hit at the in the 14th there. This is a tough team to beat.
LSU baseball game 2 tonight, 7 o'clock from Starkville. Rounds 4 through 7 tomorrow. Big sports day as far as Saturday is concerned with the Kentucky Derby. Game 7, Spurs and Clippers. It'll be the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. LSU Mississippi State game 3. Tired of it?
Yeah, man. We were up late, man. Come on. Yeah, the draft went late. You and I, we talked about it. Man, the LSU game was cruising. It was going to be over at like 9:15, man. It was cruising. And then it ended up going until very late.
14 innings?
Yeah.
All right, we're back with you on Monday morning. Have a good, safe weekend out there. Follow us on Twitter.
Get some rest.
Talking to yourself? At 104.5 ESPN.